So Justin, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you.
Of course. So to start off, very easy. Who is Justin Aldred?
Yeah, so I'm Justin Aldred. I have the honor of being the Boone County Southern District Commissioner. I first came to office in 2021. Prior to that, I was with the Missouri Army National Guard with the 175th Military Police Battalion. I also had time with the Missouri State Auditor's Office under Nicole Galloway. And, that kind of sparked an interest in local government, my time in Jefferson City at the Auditor's Office. And in 2020, I decided to run for office, and here we are.
And what is the importance of having a county commission?
I think it's everything that we do. When you wake up in the morning and you drive down a road, you're trusting Boone County, crews for road maintenance, bridge maintenance. When you're, in an emergency situation, dialing 911, you're trusting that there will be a competent Boone County Joint Communications employee to answer that call. When, disaster strikes, when a tornado hits, or severe weather, you're trusting that tornado sirens from Boone County Office of Emergency Management will go off to warn you. So I think it's all of those little things that people don't necessarily think about on the day-to-day, but all those things that people expect from government, those are all the things that Boone County is involved with.
And what do you think are the biggest issues for Boone County voters right now?
Yeah, right now, it's what I hear on the doors. It's what I hear people tell me. And there are several. I think that there is a big issue with housing, not just in Boone County, but nationwide. We are projected, and it's a significant number, to need 37,000 additional housing units by 2050. That is a daunting number that's going to require us to work not just with local government, but, with private businesses, with individuals, to make sure that we can build to meet that need, to make sure that we have policy that meets that need. There's also issues in food security, making sure that people can afford to put food on the table. We're seeing, almost 10-year highs right now, talking to the food banks. Over 12,000 people, I believe, in the month of August visited our local food bank. That's Boone County residents that need to put food on the table, so that's a significant issue. The other one is childcare, and especially I'd like to look at it as childcare as workforce development. So we've recently looked at a regional law enforcement training center expansion for our sheriff's office and our first responders, and I think that that's something where we can see if we can get childcare to them, and we will with this new pilot program, we'll be able to really build workforce development out of that.
And I want to go off a little bit of what you said about needing more housing in Boone County.
Mm-hmm.
According to the Boone County Coalition to End Homelessness, it currently sits at around 450 people in Boone County, which is about doubled in the past year. So what would you do differently if reelected?
Well, I think, what we're looking at right now, we've made significant investments in different organizations, Columbia Housing Authority, Love Columbia, Central Missouri Community Action. The Commission has invested heavily in those types of programs, and it is, making sure that we have transformational change for those individuals as well. Trying to get those numbers up, working, whether that be on local, whether that be with nationwide program, that's, something that we want to focus on. I think there's also some to be said for the individuals that may have a place to rest their head for the moment, but may be insecure in that. The individuals that, might be involved in our public school system, children specifically, that don't necessarily have a place to stay every night when they go home. That's absolutely significant, and I think that's where our focus needs to be.
And you've served in this position since the end of 2020. What have you learned in the past few years, and kind of why should voters reelect you?
Yeah, I think the one biggest lesson I would take away from this is that the pothole in the road does not care if you vote red or blue. Every individual is affected, by the core tenets of county government and by, life in Boone County. There is significant need, and there are things that we can do when we work together specifically. When local government's working with nonprofits, when we're working with businesses, when we're working with our regional and economic development partners. There are still things that I'd like to get done. In my time, like I said, we worked on the pilot for the Regional Law Enforcement Training Center. We've invested heavily in food security, but those are still things that we'd like to see through to the end.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think you're the better choice for Boone County voters compared to your opponent?
I try not to focus too much on my opponent. I don't think it's good for incumbents to focus too much on the challenger. But ultimately, I am here to do everything I can to ensure that my community is a better place. And I see the public service that I do with my community, working every day as an extension of the public service that I first committed to when I raised my right hand and enlisted in the Army.
And Justin, is there anything else that you would like voters to know?
Yeah, I would humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, but specifically I would ask that when you vote in November, that you take the time to vote all the way up and down the ballot.